This is the Other 23 Hours podcast. We're here to bring awareness to and reduce the stigma of addiction through an open dialogue about recovery. Join us this week and every week for new episodes and content.
All right, this is a short.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be short, though, because we're just, picking this up at a random thought.
That's a good point. All right, we're picking at the threads. Continuing. But this is a kind of... I just wanted to talk about how different each of the times you went into rehab were. Not from your perspective exactly, because we just went to the rehab reflections. But I wanted to, talk to you and connect with you on,
your perspective, how they're different?
My perspective, but also, how we experienced them as different. Because we experienced them together. That's what's neat about us, is that we have our individual experiences, and then we have this third thing, which is our together experience.
It's really interesting because oftentimes our individual experiences, in a weird way, mirror each other.
Right.
Even though we're not, trying to do that. We're not communicating about it. We don't find out till later.
Right.
You'll say that, it felt like one way to you, and then,
then
it'll be the same to me, and I'll be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I'll say that it was this last time, I was like, yeah, it was just super easy because it was just whatever, it's going to be a month and then I'm going to see you again. And then, you're like, yeah, all right. Yeah,
so that's what was interesting because, we've been dating on and off
4.5 years.
4.5 years.
Well,
yeah.
We'll just say 4.5 years.
Yeah.
It's easy around them.
Right.
All right.
No one's counting. Anyway, the first year, I think you went into rehab within maybe 7 or 8 months.
It was
or 9.
7 months.
Is it 7 months of us
March
dating?
to October.
Okay.
End of October, November. Roughly 7 to 8 months.
Right.
Yeah.
That was so hard.
Yeah.
For both of us, I think.
Oh God, yeah.
And what was really crazy is people were telling me they're he's gonna come out a new man, and I was just
yeah.
That's such a weird thing to say.
It's a weird people have this weird concept about rehab that since that's the answer, you will be fixed if you go to rehab.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. That's not a real thing.
Right.
Sorry to burst your bubble, folks.
Right.
It's great. It's a great tool.
Yeah.
Don't worry, but keep your expectations realistic.
Right. Keep them realistic, whatever realistic is.
Well, all right. Do you want to know what realistic is?
Yeah.
Realistic is don't expect someone to come out completely fixed.
Right. I agree with you completely on that. And also, I wouldn't expect someone to come out necessarily completely different.
No.
I mean, they are different. People are different. You change.
It really, that's kind of an individual thing because certain, I don't know. With me, I didn't go to, it's tough, man. All right, look, I didn't go to certain extremes.
Right.
There was a dude that I spoke to who spent 3 months out on the west side of Detroit. He was telling me some crazy stories about smoking a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
And just stealing water heaters from Home Depot at 3 o'clock in the morning and walking them across the street in a shopping cart and stuff. So, when he detoxed, he was a rather different person from the normal person he is. But it's the amount of...
Right, yeah.
There can be a big personality shift, but not always.
All right. I appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
Intellectually, yeah.
So then we were going to the second time you went in, you said it was a year and a half later? Or is it just a year later?
No. So, maybe not a year and a half. So it was the month of November 2015, and then the next time I went in was March of 2017.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so...
a little over a year.
That time, I barely remember the second and third time. Oh, no, I mean, the second time. Yeah. No, that's right. That's why I didn't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, man, that was so hard. Not from the perspective of, I was 2017 was just a hard year.
It was a hard year.
And that was, for me, I think that was one of the years where you just weren't doing well no matter what. Oh, that's why I got pissed, because you actually immediately went
Dude, I did. I came out and I tried to contact you.
Right.
And you were like, yeah, I don't really want to see you. And I was like, I went off the deep end. I could not keep it together.
Oh.
I came out of rehab and within like less than 12 hours, I was high again.
Yeah.
That was bad. I was not personally ready to deal with that.
Right.
And it didn't match the expectation of how things would be in my head. But like by such a jarring amount that I could not handle it. Yeah. It was bad. Yeah.
That was a tough year. But then, okay, so then the next time was almost a year later again, though, right? 2018.
The next time was not until 2019, my dear.
No. Wait, are we in? No, we're not in 2020.
We're in 2019.
You've only been 3 times? I thought you've been 4 times.
So, all right. This past month.
Yeah.
In September, October.
Yeah.
October, let's say.
Yeah.
4. But I was after jail back in February.
Oh, right.
That's why.
Oh, so
it's like literally 6 months ago. 7, 8, I don't know.
Oh, right. Oh, man. 2019. Yeah. Why does 2019 feel like 2 years?
Dude, 2019 is not a good year. This is like one of those years that I kind of like, part of me is just like, I just want to forget about this stupid ass year. I was so mad at this year. Not even in and of itself. It's just like the series of circumstances and events that happened in my life.
That's a good point.
They were
so
difficult to do.
The third time, the third time this time was interesting because we weren't dating, and in fact I was kind of dating someone else.
Yeah, you were seeing someone else.
I was seeing someone else, and so when you got out, I actually wasn't even talking to you very much.
It was really interesting. Yeah, you weren't talking to me much.
Put up a bunch of boundaries.
You did, yeah. You just wanted to communicate via writing, mail.
Yeah,
snail mail.
At first.
Yeah.
Which we were doing.
Yeah. Now, granted, at this time, though, so check this out, right?
Yeah.
We had last seen each other, and, the last time that we saw each other was not really on great terms. And that's to put it, like, nicely.
Yeah.
At the end of December.
That's true.
I didn't come out of, like, treatment until March.
So
it had been a minute since we had seen each other. Yeah. Yeah, you were not taking my phone calls. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, so how did that affect you?
How did it affect me?
Yeah.
That was tough. I feel like it I had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
But, it's really funny because I had other ways to cope. So that's when I started seeing someone else, too.
That's right.
That funny situation just kind of happened to fall in my lap at that time.
Yeah. That's right.
And I don't know. That's like when I really started to hit the gym hard and like just
that's
really
true.
It kind of sounds cliche maybe, but I just kind of plug myself into the recovery community because that's just like what I spent my time doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like crazy. The first month I got out of treatment, I just kind of all I did was go to meetings with people. Not like as a chore, but like just people would just hit me up and they'd be like,
"Yep.
Hey, you going to this meeting? Do you want to go to this meeting? Can I get a ride to this meeting?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'm not working on it. Yeah, why not? Sure."
Right.
Not seeing Clementine. not in an angry way, but like, I just didn't have a lot going on.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is helpful to you. This can be helpful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is really fascinating because I hadn't really thought about the first time. It was so hard to be away from you for a month.
Oh man.
Like I felt like I was being torn apart.
It was, yeah, shit.
And then the second time, I think the reason, I wanted to see you. And I was really pissed that you, like the second time I was really pissed that you just went directly back out because I really felt like that ruined the chances of us hanging out because at that point I was really putting up this boundary of like, or starting to put up this boundary where I was like, you cannot be high while we're hanging out. Like
it was really like and this is something that, I've worked a lot on, but I was just like, so it's funny to look back on. That's not like haha funny because that was not a good period of my life. But I just had, I couldn't hold my long-term interest over my short-term immediate gratification thing. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I think my mindset was something like, okay, You don't want to see me. My life is fucked. Fuck this.
Right.
And that was it. Not like, oh, well, maybe I should do some work and things will get better.
Yeah.
I was like, no, things are never going to get better. This is garbage.
Right.
Fuck this.
Right. But that would be really easy to do because we had this really like intense relationship. Mm-hmm. And at that point we were not doing it, but we still hung out. And so we still experienced each other in an intensity of sorts. We always do. But like, it sounds almost like you kind of like had come out of this like honeymoon period and everything sucked. And so it was just really easy to like dive into that sucking and thinking that nothing's going to get better. So like at what point were you able to like switch that though? Because that seemed like somewhere in 2018 there was a switch that flipped. But how? Why?
That's a good question.
It was almost like magic.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
I know what you're talking about because we spent all of 2018 like pretty much living together. That was.
I think that's a little bit of a hyperbole.
Most of it.
We were not living together until. We literally were living together maybe part of May, June, July, August, September. You know, and not even May. I mean, you were coming over more.
That's the thing. I think I just kind of like put the two together in my head.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Because in March, you were actually still doing not so well. But
so I got clean, I think, towards the end of March.
You did, yeah. That's when you started, yeah.
But like I was clean the rest of the year. Well, towards the end, I stopped.
Well, and then there was, right. I mean, the year started poorly.
Yeah.
Shaped up somewhere in the middle to the point where I was like, maybe we'll get married.
Yep. That happened. We had that conversation.
So how things can turn on a dime.
Well, look, folks, let me just tell you, that just goes to show you everything is temporary.
Right. Wait, are we giving
and
them hope? Or are we giving
turn on a dime, both positively and negatively. Man.
But it's so true. Might as well have a realistic perspective on it, yeah.
Well, you know, I'm saying, like, you should be hopeful, too, though.
That's true.
Because, like, if things can turn bad, if you flip a coin, it has both heads and tails. One of these times, you're going to get tails if you've been getting a lot of head lately. Heads.
I think you meant to do that.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be funnier, but kind of fell flat. Anyways.
It's hard when I'm the only audience you have, and
that is fair.
Maybe I've heard that. No, I've heard that joke before.
No, it's just not really a funny joke.
Okay, so yeah,
I've been in rehab, dealing with a lot of childish people.
That's okay. It might be some of our audience here.
Yeah, they'll love it.
They'll love it. Eat it up, people. I'm just kidding. So, right. So the third time was actually this year. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it feels like so long ago.
It feels like so long ago.
There's been a lot that's happened in the meantime. And there's a lot that's happening right now. Weird.
Okay, it's so odd. The first time I couldn't, I was like, how am I going to do it without you? The second time I was also kind of like that. I was like, it felt like familiar, but also still like, I was like holding on to it as like hope, you know, like this has got to help or something. And then when it didn't, oh my God.
Yeah, it fell apart.
Right. Well, 2017 was hard. And then 2018 was like this weird glittery year that had like the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Glittery year. I held on to that camp. I'm still salty about camping. But you know what's funny though? It's like crazy. It's because of camping in 2018.
Right, yeah. We did.
All the stuff.
We did a lot of stuff
that we did was like so, I don't know, it was like so magical to me that I had a hard time letting go of, I think, this kind of fantasy that I built up in my head about what our life could be like. And you know what? That's not even true. That's not fair. That's not fair. Hold on. It was not even a fantasy though, because like we lived it. We lived it, yeah. Right. So it was like
it's that's almost harder. Like, but that's what happens with a relationship though, is that you have such nice moments and you're expecting more of that.
Yeah.
And like the letdown from that expectation is so huge.
Yeah, because the distance, like, if you go up higher, that fall is going to hurt more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, this is interesting too, because I was talking to someone. And we were both like, there's not enough, voices of people who are in relationships, like, that are with someone who is in recovery and a person who has not struggled with substance use disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, maybe it's not a different dynamic. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that in my head, but like, I feel like there's not as many. Anyways, this is like a good.
But that's interesting because I qualify myself as an addict.
Yeah, that's
or
fine.
As a recovering addict, but I agree
I'm like
that
talking about
that
clinically.
substance hasn't necessarily been the crux of my addiction.
No, a lot of the feelings that we've had and issues are similar.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, drug use and substance use is like literally just a symptom of what's going on, because there's always deeper stuff.
Right. We're gonna end up saying that so many times because
it's a message that is worth repeating.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of people who get clean for the first time and they're like, look, my problem was just doing drugs. Nuh-uh. There's more to it.
We got to dish you some wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
There is more to it.
That's like a whole other podcast, or 5.
Or 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so so what I find really interesting is the move from basically being like, I can't be without you, to like this like slow kind of like allowing. I feel like it's an allowing of things to like do whatever. And especially this last time seemed very much like we were both in this headspace of knowing that we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously knew that we would meet up at some point.
That, to me, is the crux of it.
Really?
Absolutely. It's like a comfort level to me. Well, all right. I don't mean to cut you off. You can keep.
No. We're going on your tangent now.
Right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm interested. I'm on board.
So my internal process with this was like, I was just comfortable because I don't know. So this is like one of those things that shifted last year, I want to say.
Yeah.
But like even more so this year, which is odd because our situation was so different.
Yeah.
But, I think maybe that's like the catalyst that kind of allowed me to feel this way.
Right.
But internally, I knew it was odd. I don't really know how to describe it, but like at a gut level, I was just secure with like, well, this is just a thing that I have to do right now.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we're going to reconnect and things are going to work out however they're going to work out.
Yeah.
And that'll be okay.
Yeah.
I could not tell you the process of how I got there. Couldn't explain why or how it works.
Yeah.
I just know that it happened.
Can I just say that is so awesome, and also I feel it too. And like that does not happen with everyone.
No.
And like it doesn't happen in all relationships. And
no.
I don't even know if you can get there with some relationships.
No, you probably shouldn't with some relationships.
Right. Well, maybe.
Well, some are just not healthy to hold on to.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right. That's actually, I think that's fair.
That's real.
Okay. But getting to that point where there's just a sense of,
oh yeah,
I mean, the way it hits me is kind of like peacefulness or groundedness or like balance. All of those things kind of feel good, but what it really is just this kind of like inner knowledge and like also allowing things to just like be in this way. I don't know, it's so weird.
It's so, all right, so I just had this thought.
Yeah.
That it's interesting because I thought of you, right?
Yeah.
I missed your physical presence.
Right.
But it's really funny because there was like, and maybe it's just because we've been dating for so long, but like, there was a part of me, like in my soul, that felt like you're just there.
Yeah.
Like I have part of you
Yeah.
is just with me. So like I didn't miss you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
it's
but
hard to explain.
that's why I can't say that I miss people sometimes.
Yeah.
Is if I actually am feeling you deeply, your essence, like even when you're not around,
internally,
I don't need to miss you.
You don't, because like there's nothing to miss.
At the moment that I miss you, that's when I know that I've been disconnected somehow. Like that's an internal, right? An internal measurement for me. So if I miss you, that means that I'm disconnected. How did I get disconnected?
That's great, because it is like it's a function of connection.
Yeah.
Because we are connected, we just don't miss each other, because like we're just there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But also, like, when we say we're connected, it's a weird thing, because this is something that I think happens for like really old friends, for instance. Like sometimes it's like that phenomenon of like we can be miles apart and have not seen each other for blah blah blah, and then we just pick up
back up.
Yeah, and that's because you don't necessarily feel that disconnection, I think.
Well, maybe you don't feel the disconnection, and like then the flip side of that is like the connection is just so natural and so strong that it just picks back. Like it's not like it takes time to build it back up,
right?
Because it's just natural. Like it's just there.
Correct. All right, so I think we've touched on all the things that I thought were like.
Yeah, I think we got our time in the room is.
Oh, our time in the room is
kind of up too.
Oh, okay. Oops. All right, bye, folks.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
The other 23 hours is used for entertainment, informational, and educational purposes only. We are not medical professionals. None of this information should be used to treat or diagnose any illnesses. We are not legal experts and do not offer legal advice. Please consult your local physician or lawyer for your own unique situation.
Oh, dang it, I did it
There
again.
we go.
We just life
If it ain't broke, don't break it.
That's the life lesson.
Yep.
All right.